Face came from 𝗣𝗲𝗿𝗵𝘁𝘀𝘀𝗶cie where it still don't sleep. Raised by his mom, pops ghost in the street. Concrete cradled him, lullabies and sirens. Pain made him sharper than a shank in Rikers. Crib rags in his closet, but his heartbeat wise. New loss of 10, saw a soul leave.
What's going on? About to get started, y'all. What's going on? About to talk about it today.
We met on Spruce, locked in, no flinch. Blood couldn't make us closer by an inch. Face was a warrior, cold but kind. He ain't just survived, he redesigned.
Congratulations, gladiators, graduate. I'm glad you made it through all the hatred. I hate it. Couldn't be the fate debated, but it's for me that now never faded. See that look close, all over flesh. Keep your circle tight, put the fake to rest. Some burn bridges, some burn the set. Some earn stripes, some place they bet.
Trip came from LA, raised by his queen. No pops, just hunger and gangster dreams. Slim, tall, and dark pain behind a smile. Dodge fate daily, ran with wolves.
Come on in here, get the likes up. Get the likes up.
And mine answered like, that's my son from the start. I gave Trip structure, he gave me fire. Two halves of war,
get the likes up.
Desire. We chased skirts, fought ops, baptized in sin. Banged out pride with bloodstained grin. Loyal to the soul, not just the turf. We ain't find heaven, we dug it from earth.
Get the likes up, come on in here. Don't be a hater, get the likes up.
I'm too much, raised in the IE flame.
Come on.
Pop's a vet with the scars and aim. He taught me to move with a soldier's poise. But my brothers taught me how to
hear the noise.
My dad gave face, me and Trip that guide. Their moms hugged me like I never left their side. We ain't share blood, but we shared that pain. Shared the same block, same hood, made chains. From chasing women to ducking raids. From stick-up missions to street parades.
Coming up in here, get them lights up.
Built from the mud, now gladiators crowned in brotherhood love.
Congratulations, gladiators, they graduate. I'm glad you made it. All the hatred, I hate it. Couldn't be the fate debated, but it's for me that now never fade. See that look close, all over flesh. Keep your circle tight, put the fake to rest. Some burn bridges, some burn the set. Some earn stripes, some place they bet.
Come on in here, get them likes up. Tap the screen. Tap the screen, share the live. Come on.
He taught me to move with the soldier's voice, but my brothers taught me how to hear the noise. My dad gave face, me and Trip that guy. The moms hugged me like I never left their side. We ain't share blood, but we shared that pain. Shared the same block, same hood, made change. I'm chasing women to ducking raids. From stick-up men to street parades. We stood 10 toes, built from the mud. Now
them lights up. We about to get started here. Get the lights up. I'm glad you made it through all the hatred. I hate it.
Couldn't be there, fate debated, but it's more me and now never faded. See there, look close, all over.
We about to talk about it today, y'all. We about to get into it. We about to get into it. Too much, too much.
I ain't never switch, I was raised in the lion's den, standing on truth. I don't follow, I inspire men, loyal to the code. Got the wisdom of 1,000. Every move I make for the fam, that's the fountain. Built from the struggle, integrity in my spine. Character solid, you can read between the lines. Talk what I live, they respect me when I speak. Name hold weight in the west and the east. Lessons from the block got me sharp like a blade. Made it out the fire, but the flame never fade. Soul made of steel, I don't shake, I don't run.
I'm too much, I'm the moon and the sun. Everybody know me. When you see me on the street, I be on TikTok. Always standing on business. Everybody know me. When you see me on the street, I be on TikTok. Always standing on business.
legacy on my back, I don't bend, I don't fold.
Come on, get them lights up, y'all. We about to get started here. Share the live, share the live.
They don't come with a cost. I took every L like a boss, never lost. Talk to the youth like a prophet in the street.
About to talk about it. We are about to talk about it.
Calm, never loud, but when I step in the room,
I still move the crowd. All right, we're gonna get into it, y'all. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. We about to get into it. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. We are about to get into it. We are about to get into it. Get them likes up. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So, y'all know that Shadeur Sanders, the controversy that's been surrounding that brother since he entered the draft, right? Y'all know about that, right? Y'all know about that? Before I get started, man, let me just get a consensus. We got 8 people in the room right now, real quick. What's wrong with this picture? Isn't there room for both families? We got the Manning family and we got the Sanders family. Both are Americans. What's the issue? Both come from good homes. Both of these are NFL, NFL players, right? Archie Manning. They come from a football family, a family of greatness. Deion Sanders, the Sanders family, they come from a family of greatness, right? Why is there so much media hype and frenzy and ownership envy? Let's just call it what it is, ownership envy, right? When it comes to the Sanders. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that seem like a little off? Like, they want us to believe that we live in this kumbaya world. We live in this meritocracy. They want us to believe that, oh, there's no such thing as racism. Blah. They want us to believe all this stuff. They want us to believe all this stuff. But we keep having issues between black and white. We keep having issues with foundational black Americans in this country. The copper-colored people, the true Americans, there's always some type of media gameplay when it comes to them. It's always some type of situation. We're too confident. We're too cocky. We're not grateful enough. We're not thankful enough. What? Do y'all not know about the Manning? How cocky these boys were? How is that any different than a Shadeur Sanders saying, I know I'm great and I'm going to do well? What's wrong with stating those facts? I'm just curious. What's wrong with that? So, son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, Shadeur grew up in a supportive and affluent environment, contrasting the often highlighted narrative of black athletes rising from adversity. This brother walking around college, driving around a Rolls Royce. Brother's looking like a rapper with all the chains around his neck in college. Media hype, media presence like that of a LeBron James. Right? He's not hurting for anything. He's not begging no one. He's coming in the league like I'm supposed to be here. What's wrong with that? Is he supposed to come in the league like all humble and, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to make my dad proud. I'm going to make my family proud. Is that the narrative they want all black people to speak when they come in the league? Should we be so grateful for the NFL? Why? Because the NFL are paying you millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're supposed to be so grateful that when y'all want to chastise us or make us jump through hoops, we're supposed to be happy with the opportunity? Is that the narrative that the NFL is pushing? I mean, projected number 2 in the draft to be drafted at number 5 because what? Some words maybe his father said. He's not going to play for that team. Or my boy's going to listen to what I say. Kind of like a LeVar Ball situation, right? So Deion Sanders kind of did a LeVar Ball situation. But LeVar put his boys in a better situation than they ever could have imagined because of their father, right? Is that not the same thing Deion Sanders was trying to do for his boy? Put them in a better situation they could have ever imagined? Why is one family accepted and the other family not? Why is one family's America's family and the other family's not? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Top pick. He went from number 2, number 1 or number 2 draft pick projection to pick number 144. Now, I was going to talk about something totally different today, but I said, man, I got to talk about this. I want to hear from the family, man. I know people are coming in and out the room, but I want to hear from the family, man. I want to hear what people think about the Sanders, Deion Sanders, Shadeur Sanders, Deion Sanders Jr. And I got nothing, I'm a Peyton Manning fan. I like the Mannings. I like Eli Manning. I like Peyton Manning. I like the father. I like the whole family. But what's different from the Mannings versus the Sanders? What's the difference? One's white and one's black? I mean, why would you lower? I mean, to me, listen. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna just let the cat out the bag. If I was to have a football team, it would be the Cleveland Browns or the Baltimore Ravens. I consider them the same team because of the dynamics of how they used to be the Cleveland Browns. And I'm from Cali, but I've never liked the Raiders. Never liked the Raiders. And definitely couldn't go Frisco. Definitely couldn't do that. That just seemed a little moist to go Frisco. Just for all the 49er fans out there. Y'all just seem a little moist, just saying. But I couldn't do Raiders because of the owner. I never liked the owner of the Raiders. I know his son took over, but the way they did Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, I just thought was ridiculous. That's why I could never really go with the Raiders. But Cleveland Browns, man, Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns, man, dog pound. They blue collar, get it from the mud type of people, And then I got family that, my family's from Youngstown, Ohio. So, it just seemed a good fit, right? It just seemed a good fit, Cleveland Browns. So, am I unhappy that Shadeur Sanders is drafted to the Cleveland Browns? No, I think he actually landed in a pretty good situation. I think he was projected to go to the Cleveland Browns anyway at some point, but they just got him in the 5th round. They got him for a deal. They got him at premium prices, right? They got him at a discount. Now, the brother's already making money, but I mean, it seems like they put an even bigger chip. They put an even bigger chimp on that brother's shoulder. I think they made it to where he got more to prove. I think they made it to where that brother has more to prove. Y'all help me reach my flash goal real quick too. Help me reach my flash goal real quick. But listen, yeah, man, this is crazy. But I honestly I stopped watching football because of Kaepernick. I like football. I played football in high school and college. Played basketball as well too. Ran track, all that. Loved the game. But I never liked the politics surrounding football, man. Even in my high school, there was politics going on in football. We had one of the best running backs, I think, in our little what do you call it, league. And the coach didn't want to play him. We had a coach come. We recruited a coach all the way from Iowa to coach inner city kids in a predominantly black and Mexican neighborhood. And they brought a coach from Iowa. And his son was a white boy. His son was a white boy running back. And he became the starter of the team. Nothing wrong with that, but we had better running backs, to be honest. So we know that the politics in the team, and he brought his whole crew, and we never won it. We won one game that year with this coach. You know, it was just terrible. So I understand that the politics that come behind football and the hoops they make black players jump through just to be on the team. I mean, this coach that we had at my high school, he wanted to be your daddy. He wanted to be your end all, be all, everything. And I'm like, sir, you can't be that. I already have a dad. You know, yeah, I don't need you. My dad is alive and well and in my life, and you know he's my hero. You can't replace that. It's like they want to father all the black kids all of a sudden. Like we gotta, you know, it's just strange. It's strange. But the NFL has a history of underrepresenting black. All the black players in the league. All the black players in the league, and there's no black owner. All the black millionaires that they've created, and there's no black owners. No black ownership. Zero. No, you know, we're underserved in coaching. All the black players, and you mean we can't find more black coaches? And we make up 95% of the league? And it just happens that everybody in the executive position happened to be YT, and everybody in the player positions happened to be black. What's going on with that? I mean, am I out of pocket for noticing these things? This was a projected number. Am I supposed to believe that all of a sudden nobody believed in him? His dad's a great coach. What's the cornerback, running back's name? I can't think of his name right now. He went number 2. He coached some of the best players. He coached the Heisman Trophy winner. And Shadeur was throwing to him. I mean, Shadeur had to get that ball to him for him to catch some balls so he could score touchdowns. And I granted the brother played both ways and he was phenomenal. But he had a team around him. He had a coach. And you got the son of a Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders, and you're going to make an example out of him? In my opinion, just my opinion, I believe they wasn't even going to draft him. I believe if it wasn't for Trump saying what he said on Truth Social, I don't think they would have drafted him. I don't think he would have played. I think Trump had to step in and say, hey, man, Y'all are stupid. You owners are stupid. Any team who wants to win, I think, will pick up Shadeur Sanders. I think Trump literally had, this is just my opinion, y'all. Did y'all know that Trump said that, called the NFL owners stupid? Did y'all know that? And just my opinion, I think if Trump hadn't put that tweet out or that post on Truth Social, I don't think Shadeur would have got drafted. I think they would have made him undrafted just to spite his father. And that's what I'm like, is the NFL really for us? Do we really need more athletes and entertainers at a time right now? That's my question to y'all. Do we really need athletes and entertainers right now in 2025? Is that what the black community needs? Do we really need that? Because if we got to jump through all these hoops and get publicly buck broken just to play the game, I don't know if I'm with all that. I don't know if I want to tell my son to play football, tell my son to play basketball. I think we got bigger fish to fry. I think we got bigger goals and greater ambitions to do. I think being athletic is not the only thing we are. Being entertainers is not the only thing we are. Being musical geniuses and innovators and is not the only thing we are. I think we are more than even the inventions that we create. More than the 50,000 patents that we already have. I think there's a bigger game that's being played. And that's the game that we need to buy into. I think we are underrepresented in politics. I think we are underrepresented in STEM. I think we're underrepresented in technology. I think we're underrepresented in blockchain technology. I think we're underrepresented in finances and just in financials, just in financial literacy. I think there's a bigger game being played than being on the NFL plantation. I think we should not have to jump through any hoops or go through any public shaming just to play for a league that doesn't appreciate the players that made it what it is. Without the players, there would be no NFL. Regardless of how much money the NFL owners pay out, these are millionaires, granted, but at what cost? They're millionaires at what cost, but they don't own their brand. They work for the network. Yeah, and the fans, but who are the fans coming to see though? The fans are coming to see the players. So the player, I get, without the fans, there would be no NFL, right? But do y'all want to see a bunch of, I don't know. What do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to see a bunch of slow people out there? Slow, unathletic people playing the game? Or do y'all want to see the best of the best athletic people playing the game at a high level? That's what I'm asking. What do y'all want to see? What's more entertaining? The WNBA or the NBA? I mean, you tell me, what's more entertaining? Honest question. Everybody wants to know. FBA stands for Foundational Black American. That's what it stands for. Foundational Black American. Okay. So, what is this? I mean, to me, and if you listen to people who claim to be experts on football, Shadeur wasn't that talented. Really? Wasn't he a Heisman candidate? Yeah, we want athletic players. I mean, don't get me wrong, Luka and Luka and the Joker are good. Don't get it twisted. Luka, Doncic, and Joker, they are good basketball players. Solid, and very fun to watch. Very fun to watch how Luka shifts gears. He can stop and go, and you know he's not as athletic as other players, but he still gets the job done. So does the Joker. You know, don't get me wrong, it's good, but you don't want to see them alone. You want to see them surrounded around some athletic people, and you want to see them play up against the best of the best. Right? That's what's going to make the game entertaining. You have skilled players, you got athletic players, you got, you know, just super, you got LeBron James, freak of natures out there. I mean, you got so many things that get you excited about the game. But what do we want to see? Oh, Wemby. Yeah, that brother's good. I like that brother too. What's that? Bola? What's the other 7-footer out there? Bola. My new Bowl son, I think. He's fun to watch too, right? But what do we want to see? Yeah, how about owning at least one team? Why aren't we allowed to own a team? Why aren't we Bola? Yeah. Why aren't we allowed to be in the game? To be owners of the actual game? We can be players all we want. But why aren't we allowed to be owners? Why aren't we allowed to be more represented in coaching? I mean, doesn't it make sense when 80 to 90% of the league is black? Shouldn't we be represented 80%, 90% in management also? Shouldn't there be an all black owned team? Black ownership? Not just minority stake, but I mean majority stake. Right? Shouldn't there be? Shouldn't we have more black owners? I mean, why is it that we got to jump through all these hoops? Why is it that you have a talent like this man who comes from a great family, just like the Mannings? Just like the Mannings. But all of a sudden, this family got to jump through hoops. But this family down here, they get rushed in, ushered in real quick. They get fast tracked. Not that they weren't talented, because we all know the Mannings are very talented people. Very, very talented. Because this is America, huh? Don't catch them slipping them. This is America. Is that what it's all about? Why is one person's arrogance accepted but the other person's arrogance not accepted? Why is that? Because Peyton Manning was arrogant. Let's keep it a buck. He was arrogant. He had a walk. He had a talk. He came in there saying, "Look, I'm calling all my plays." How do you go in there and tell the coach, "I'm calling all my plays. I'm going to read the defense and I'm going to call the best play I feel for this. And this is how you're going to coach me." That's how Peyton came into the damn league. You know what I'm saying? What's more arrogant than that? You mean the coach can't call the plays? You mean you're gonna let the player be the player coach out there on the field? Manning was known, Manning was known to be like, "Hey, get your stuff in gear." He was a leader. So why isn't Shadeur allowed to lead the same way? Why isn't Shadeur allowed to lead his way like Peyton Manning is allowed to lead his way? Why is that? Why is that? So I wrote on Twitter. I got a lot of people comment on one of my Twitter posts. I wrote on Twitter that we got to stop playing their game. We got to stop playing their game, and we got to create our own game. That way, when we create our own game and we own our own game, we don't got to jump through hoops no more. And some people thought I was talking about segregation. No. What if we have a league that's majority black owners, but it's still opened up to the whole of America? What's wrong with that? Why all of a sudden, because we have black owners, it got to be a segregated league? Why can't it still be the best players play on the field, but we just got majority black owners? And then I put another post on Twitter, and this really got them going crazy. When I said NFL is nothing more than sharecropping, right? Am I wrong to say NFL is sharecropping, even though these brothers are millionaires, right? They're millionaires, but they don't own the game. They don't have any ownership or any equity. They're sharecropping, right? They're just millionaires who sharecrop. Oh, and I really got mad on Twitter when I said that. Oh, these guys are millionaires, and how do you say that? You're a racist and all that. I'm like, really? For saying that? For calling NFL the plantation? And the players are sharecroppers? Am I wrong for saying that? Bring up some people. Cousin, come on up here, brother. Let's chop it up. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. Everybody, what's FBA? What's FBA? For the last time, foundational Black American.
Greetings, brother. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Well, you know, okay, anyway. I can only say I'm so glad oxygen is free.
Come on. And in a minute, it won't be. In the future,
I'm trying to tell you, when they can figure out how to charge for oxygen, we in trouble like somebody, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
Give me
You said a few things. Okay, yes. Is the NFL a plantation? It's the greatest plantation and the last standing plantation in this American racial caste system.
Hold on real quick. Hold that thought. It was never ADOS, brother. ADOS is a group. FBA is a lineage. So it was never ADOS. Okay? Go ahead, cousin. Go ahead.
Okay. It's called the Underwear Olympics for a reason. So now I need you to explain to me what's the difference between the 40, the defensive line drills, the offensive lineman drills, the deep back drills. They just not checking their teeth. And I ain't gonna say they haven't done that. Now, if we're going to be honest about the situation, now if we're not going to be honest about the situation, then you keep dreaming on. Keep believing that this thing called America is optional.
I keep telling people America is North Korea. We just play the game better.
But America as a society, or as a nation state, shall I say, because I don't want to act like it's all of us, it's them. And, you know, we just happen to be riding because we're here. America as a nation state came on the scene after Kennedy and his ill-timed ending, shall I say, as a society that said, we want to be better. We desire to be that shining light on the hill. But throughout the decades, greed has taken over and tried to present itself as the average everyday guy. when the average everyday guy doesn't operate on greed. They operate on necessity, because the things that are placed before the everyday guy are things of necessity. I gotta make sure my rent paid. I gotta make sure my phone bill getting paid. I gotta make sure my car bill getting paid.
What's up, y'all? Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure my mortgage getting met. I gotta make sure I got the money for these diapers. I gotta make sure that the milk for these daggum kids is always here. I gotta make sure for that juicy juice, it's in the house.
Okay.
Wick or no wick.
You preaching.
Okay. The idea that cats and kittens who are surviving in this thing called the American society, listen, it's raw out here. Every day. There's nothing that you cannot do where they're not thinking about how to screw over an FBA citizen.
Right. He don't even need the money for, like you were saying. The confident back man, he don't need money, but he's just playing the sport for the love of the game. He's going to the NFL for the love of the game. He don't need the money. That's what he's scared of.
I'll say this.
Brother, your mic is kind of low too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My fault.
Hold on, you gotta echo.
I gotta
Nick,
I
I'm gonna
was
need you to
thinking
get off
about why he went so deep in the draft. So I want you to ask yourself the question. How much do y'all watch the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round of the draft every year? Most people don't, right? Y'all watch the 1st, 2nd round. So I don't know if you peep and realize, but most of the 1st round draft picks were all linemen. I think they purposely pushed him back to the 5th round and purposely pushed multiple people back to the 5th round and the 4th round, knowing that they're obviously 1st, 2nd round picks to get more viewers to watch the other rounds in the NFL. This was the most watched 2nd and 3rd day of the draft ever in NFL history. You know what I mean? 𝗵𝗂𝗏𝗵𝘁𝘂𝘁𝗂, he was what? Top 5, top 3 running back in the entire class 2025.
I'm not going to disagree with you, brother. I'm really not, but I'm going to say this as a straight up statistical sports fan of the NFL. Cats who have been out there before the draft, not the drafts, but the plays, the where you were drafting players yourself. Right. Before that was popular, cats was doing it. I can't remember the exact name right now. I'm sorry, and I apologize for that to my cats and kittens who are out there, who are into it. Cat, they were doing it. It just wasn't popular.
Right.
The NFL has always tried to sell itself. So the idea that it's trying to do something to manipulate the public, if you're still falling for that, is that the NFL's fault? Or is that your fault?
I mean, that's our fault. He put it there on purpose.
No, I get
purposely fighting and trying to watch the other portion. You feel me?
I get what you're saying, but you got to understand that teams are still trying to win.
True, but at the end of the day, it's still a business.
Right, and they're still trying to
it's
get...
still right. And again, as a business operating move, I'm going to do whatever it takes to ensure that you are still hooked.
That's the point, yeah.
And no, but let's again, because when you talk about the NFL, I'm very keen on this subject. I'll say it like this. You have to understand, the NFL is the organization that told the church, get out the way. You in the way.
Right.
No other entity in America has told the church, you in the way.
That's true. That's true.
Now, if you can tell me anything otherwise, I'm willing to listen to it. But there's no force in American culture that kicks the church out of the way.
NFL is a religion.
There had not been, let me rephrase that. There had not been any other culture to tell the church to get out of the way in American history until recently.
Yeah. I agree with you.
NFL religion. But here's my other question. Because I think it was, listen, this is just my opinion. Nobody has to agree with me. I said it already, but this is my opinion. Now that I got a panel, I want y'all to answer this. Do you think if Trump hadn't have said what he said and called the NFL owners out, that they would have been drafted?
I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised. I think that was honestly a stunt move to show, because he does this all the time. He'll sit there and support black and Hispanic people, making it seem like he really care about us, just to win over the side of most people. You know what I'm saying? He did that before he got elected. He was doing it after.
It's always a stunt with Trump. Don't you ever believe that nothing that he's doing ain't a stunt.
So
You think it's a
him
stunt?
saying that,
Well, don't you think it's a
saying that
good
was
stunt?
100%
Then?
a stunt. Because he knows that most
Hold
Americans are
on.
football fans. He's
Hold
like,
on, let me say it like this. Hold on, let me say it like this. Don't you think it's a good stunt then? Because had he not said nothing, I don't think they were going to draft that boy.
Let me say it like this, bro. I
don't
don't
think they were
follow
gonna draft
nothing
him.
that Donald. I don't follow anything that man says. I did not even know he spoke on the draft
He sure
and
did.
on Shadeur. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing.
He sure
I didn't
did.
know he spoke on it until you said it.
He said, let me tell
So
you-
no, I
let me
need you to
tell what he
understand.
said.
Okay.
Hold on, let me tell you what he said. He said, and I'm just paraphrasing, he said, the NFL owners are stupid. This is a good boy. He comes from good genes. His
good
father
boy.
was
Y'all peep that?
young.
Y'all peep
Well,
that?
I don't know if he said boy. I'm probably adding that in there, but
No. It's all good. No, but
you have to go read it. But he said he comes from good genes, and his father's a winner, and he is most likely going to win too. And any team that wants to win is going to pick Shadeur Sanders. That's what he said.
Tell you why
And
exactly.
then he said, "Say hello." He said, "I wish you the best. Say hello to your father for me." Now I don't know if he did this before he got picked, but
He did it before he got picked.
he did it before, right?
You can tell.
all
I
of a
will
sudden,
say it like this,
he puts
because
that post out.
again,
Hold on. All of a sudden, he puts that post out, and then the fifth round comes, and guess what team he lands on? Not that it's a bad team, because
the
people
Saints, right?
I'm a Cleveland Brown. I'm a
The
Cleveland Brown.
Browns.
I'm a Brown.
Oh, so basically he replaced. Okay, let's be clear about his strategic positioning as this quarterback.
He's on
You
Brown.
got Dylan Gabriels and you got what's that Brown should be?
He replaced a mobile
Right.
quarterback who could throw on the run with a particular amount of accuracy.
Yep.
That's what he replaced.
Shadeur can run. He just chooses to stay in the pocket.
Yeah, Shadeur can run.
As I said, I'm just listen. Does he? The run is in him. That goes without saying. That's automatic.
Right.
But his ability to hit that guy on the slant, on the deep post when it's supposed to be thrown, that's another issue.
I mean, he's pretty accurate.
And he's shown that he has the ability to do that. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So for Cleveland, it's perfect. They've already got receivers, linemen, and everything set up for a run anytime quarterback. That's set up in their scheme and how they're doing things.
Right. He was supposed to land on the Browns. It was two teams. They said,
Right.
They said the Browns or the Raiders. Right. Either the Raiders or the Browns.
The Saints too. The Saints.
Or the Saints were supposed to get this guy.
And they ended up getting them. One of those three teams ended up getting them.
Anyway. But they got him at a discount.
Right.
Right.
Why? Because they saw his daddy. They saw his daddy get 35 mil right off the top out of Jerry Jones as a signing bonus.
But Jerry Jones is like that though. You know that.
Well, yeah, but it was because of Dad. It was because who Dad was and what Dad had and what Dad gave to the organization.
Also, on top of the fact that he doesn't really need NFL money in the first place, so he can't control it.
Then there's that also. Because I think we all can clearly say, we all can come to the understanding, shall I say, that there's probably
with a Rolls Royce. He came to the league with a Rolls Royce already.
Well, that's secondary to how it's going. Because my position, I'll say it like that. It should be common understanding that senior Mr. Sanders does have a semblance of an insurance policy and or a trust to ensure his legacy. Because if it's one thing he's never played with, Senior Sanders I'm talking about, prime time, Neon Dion, he's never played with his legacy.
Nah, he hasn't. He just knew he was that guy as soon as he touched the field, and he proved that.
And you think I'm finna let my seed suffer?
Right.
Knowing I ain't playing with my legacy?
Right.
That's just a sports legacy. I'm talking about a familial legacy. There's no chance on this planet that I'm gonna let this child fail.
That's also why I feel like, going back to what we was talking about earlier, Donald Trump, he was bullshitting. Because think about it. The white man's biggest fear is a black man who got power and money. That's exactly what Dion has. You're telling me now you all of a sudden you supporting him?
Well, I'm going back because again, I remember Dion playing, and I remember when Dion came out with his video. Must be the money turning me. Wasn't he in that?
Yes, indeed.
Wasn't he in that video?
Must be the money. But hold on.
And see, Trump has never been turned. Nothing gets that somebody's Johnson up like money.
Hold on. Regardless of what y'all may think about Trump, if he hadn't have done it, he could have been 7th round or not at all.
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
I'm telling you.
Not a chance in hell. That would
politics, but he don't control the energy.
Let me say it like this, bro. What you are really looking at, what you are looking at is the Black Brady. Potentially the Black Brady. Let me say it like that because I don't want to make no definitive statements, but I will say it like this.
Is there anybody else in the comments that disagree with me or believe what I'm saying and wants to come up and talk about it? I need some more. Where are my sports people at? Where are my sports people at?
Now, let me say this too, bro, because I don't want you to get this twisted by any stretch of the imagination. When we are talking about FBA business, this is not FBA business. Okay, let's be very clear about that.
No, to me this is.
No, it is not. This is Dion pocket watching, fandom, all of that frivolity. That's what this is. Okay, because you are distracted from the idea that things are going on behind the scenes, and we're focused on, again, a comedian, an athlete, an entertainer. These are not subjects that are proactive and positive necessarily to the Black community. Are they great distractions? Absolutely, 100%. I got no problem with that. And as I said, this ain't FBA business. This is social business.
Dion is a foundational Black American, and
regardless of his particular status, what this represents to us is what it means, man.
Hold on, cousin. And he represents us very well. He's a Black coach. He's a father. He has his legacy with him, and he has full control over his family, like a man's supposed to have. He's had success at every level. What do you mean it's not foundational Black? That is who we are. That's what we do.
That might be the essence of who we are. And now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that we should not be supporting him.
Business, cousin.
What I am saying is that the idea of getting caught up in an athlete going into a sport, not sports ownership, not sports agency, not sports empowerment, but just sports play. I don't want to take anything against the talent that he's bringing.
Well, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this. This just proves that when you have a fair system and there are rules, clearly defined rules in play, that we excel. more so than everybody else. If it's on a fair stage and there's clear rules defined, I think that's why sports is so. I think that's why Foundation Black Americans dominate sports so much because the rules are clearly defined. And even though we know you can make finagle and you can do little, white privilege here and there, for the most part, we dominate under a system that's fair and just, and sports proves that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say this is FBA business.
In that regard, now I'm in agreement there, and I'm not going to sit up here and say that. But
look at the Olympics.
this is
Look at it.
But
look
see,
at basketball.
here's the thing: the Olympics.
Baseball.
The Olympics has been one of the few places where FBA has been able to stand and tell America definitively, yay or nay.
You need us.
And in my opinion, the idea now of I want to say this properly because I'm going to offend quite a few cats with this. It's the only way I can say this, okay? The idea that we are supposed to be pulling and rooting for a nation and or an entity and or a force that has been actively working against us doesn't make sense. Now, the idea of America living up to that Kennedy era dream, yeah, we can hope for that. We can believe for that. We can want that. But where we are today, I just can only say how many people running out here talking about, I'm going to go and join certain agencies and forces to ensure that this place survives as it stands today. You can't find too many of us saying, I'm going to run up in there and get that.
And we should be, though. We should.
Definitely should.
Not as America stands today.
Well, that comes to my next.
Probably because we so divided too. Like,
I wouldn't say we're divided, brother. I would say that we're more honing in on us.
We're coming together a lot recently.
Right. And the more we hone in on us, the more the line becomes straight.
Right. Like even now,
hold on real quick, guys. Let me get to Bucky real quick, and I'm gonna open back up the panel because I got another question I want to ask everybody. Go ahead, Bucky. Bucky Hodge. Did you push the button?
Come in, Bucky.
Bucky Hodge, did you push the button on accident? Okay, I'm gonna
go on, Yogi.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, I'm on my bad.
I'm gonna just drop them down. So here's my question, because this is all leading to my next question, right? We have too many shit. Okay, maybe it's not a question. Maybe it's a statement. I believe that we should not be focusing on sports any longer, on the entertainment arena any longer. And we need to start focusing on the real game, the real battleground.
Bringing wealth for black families.
That's part of it. We need to be in politics heavy. We're underrepresented in politics. We need to be heavily represented in politics and make sure that no tether is speaking on behalf of us. We can have no non-FBA speaking for FBAs. We need to represent ourselves in these arenas. We need to be heavily involved in STEM. Heavily involved in STEM. We need to dominate technology and AI, and the arena that we especially need to dominate in is blockchain technology.
I agree with you.
Blockchain technology, because that's blockchain technology is where we can truly leapfrog and take the advantage over everybody else and get the generational wealth that we've been locked out of. Go ahead, J. Mees. Jamie?
Meese right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mees. Don't
Yeah,
confuse it with the mess though.
okay. Go ahead. Talk to us, brother. Talk to us.
No, I'm trying to see what you're saying right there. Now, I mean, that was a real statement.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you what the problem is.
Okay.
Ain't a lot of people that's willing to stand up for this. I done been in situations to where I'm like, man, okay, cool. I'm in court situations. I don't care if I'm in another place to where they talking about a jaywalking ticket. Then I take it to court. And the cop never shows up. You know that. They ain't gonna show up for no jaywalking ticket. And then they throw it out. I was looking to argue because I know what's going on.
Excuse me, brother. Can I ask you a question?
Good.
What state are you in? That sounds like Florida
Nah,
to
I
me.
didn't say Florida.
I know.
I mean, I
That's
don't
what I'm
choose to say
asking,
the state. No,
brother.
that's Florida.
We need to know,
You know what?
where they are harassing brothers for jaywalking, bro.
Okay, man, look, I'll get it to you. This is Ohio State. I mean,
There
this is
you go.
Ohio County.
This is what I'm, bro. We need that
It's
information.
Ohio County. It's
You ain't near
Ohio
Youngstown.
County.
You ain't near Youngstown, are you?
No, never did.
He
I mean, but I
ain't
got
trying to bring
brothers.
it down and break it down, and I'm gonna let him have that. He don't want to reveal, and he don't want to. All I asked for the state. That's why I didn't ask
No,
for
because
nothing.
I didn't sue
central.
these people. I didn't sue these
Exactly.
people so many times. I done sued these
And
people so many times and got money.
Bro, I was getting ready to
I
say,
done
I
sued so
ain't
many times.
trying to mess with your money, because I know if you won, you won. You got some paper
Yeah.
behind it. So,
But
and I'm not
see,
trying to
the
diss.
paper-
So, but if you want to say the state, that's all I wanted. I didn't need nothing else
Hey,
personal, bro. I really
you
did.
got it right there, Ohio. I got so much money out of these people. They like, man, I walk down the street, them people look at me like, okay, we ain't done with this. You know, they gotta ask you for your ID if regional articulable suspicion. Okay, cool, no
Yeah.
problem. Do you really want to get that from me? Then I just told you, leave me alone. So, how do anybody? Now, I mean, when you just walking down the
That's
street,
the whole point of white supremacy, bro. That's the whole point of showing you the news from 4:30 to 7 o'clock of all this MDK, particularly being played out by black folks and people of color.
but then you have people of color that they so conditioned to believing in their victims and everything like that. But you gotta think about it like this: if you don't know that you have right, let me tell you what somebody told me. A MF told me. If you don't know you have rights, then you ain't got none. What do you mean?
Let me
by
ask you a
that?
question, because
Go ahead.
this is a victim.
Go ahead. Hit me with
How
it.
many
Come
black
on.
how many black people in your inner circle consider themselves victims? I'm gonna go none.
Well, I don't have it in it. I put everybody out of the circle because guess what? They was trying to hold on to the ideology that
Brother, when I
he's
say
right,
inner
he's
circle,
right.
I'm talking about your kindergarten friends that you grew up with. How many of them consider themselves victims?
Oh no, none of mine. None of
Thank
mine.
you. So when
'Cause
they
I
are
remind them.
projecting, no, brother, you missed my point. The idea of the
cousin,
projection of
hold on.
yes, sir.
Hold on real quick, cousin. I need you to run the live real quick. Just real quick, run the live. Just continue what you're doing, bro.
All right, I got you. The idea of victimhood, that is a
Yeah, that's it.
projection from white supremacy. Because you can't say you know nobody who viewed them
Yo,
in
hold
your
on, hold on,
community
hold on. Where you from, fam? Where you from?
originally.
I mean, where
I'm
you
from Detroit.
In general.
I'm from
Oh,
Detroit
you from the
originally.
D? Okay.
Uh-huh. I don't know nobody
Cool.
that consider
So
themselves a
I
victim.
know the speech. I know the speech.
I
Then.
thought you might.
Now I mean, because I got my man. He from the D. I'm like, oh, okay. It
Y'all
sounded
different.
familiar a little bit.
Right. Y'all different,
Nah, I
but
mean-
yeah, y'all all speak in one voice.
It's not about being different though. Know what I mean? Because my man was speak. Look, hold on. I got a big homie up, and I ain't even following him. I troll through this, I scroll through it, and I try to
You do
see
what you
something
do,
that's
man.
gonna resonate. Something gonna resonate with me. And then I heard you talk, and then I heard him talking. I'm like, man, oh no, I got to tap in.
That's it, man. The idea, listen, I can only say this growing up in the D, and growing up in the D, I grew up in the most segregated place
Oof.
in America.
Oof. You think so, huh? You don't know
so.
about New Jersey?
I know that New Jersey didn't have the black population that Detroit had. True or false?
That's false. That's false.
You had an 80% population of black people in Jersey?
Yeah, it was an 80, well, maybe more than that until the Italians moved in. And then next thing you know,
But that
the
kind of
Haitians
happened
moved
somewhere
in.
around the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Maybe early, late 60s.
No,
right.
no.
See, I
You
ain't never
hit it
had
on the
that,
head
bro.
right there.
I ain't never had
So
that.
it was always right there.
What I grew up in, yes.
So now you actually
80
birthdays
to
and
90%.
years.
Let me say it like this, bro, because I want you to understand this. The school board, all black.
Yeah.
Police
My
force,
school boy, all black.
all black. Okay.
My police force, all black. What are you talking about? Now, I mean, keep going.
Brother, I'm simply saying to you that when it came to the brother, can I finish the sentence? Let me finish this, bro. I first off, let's get this straight. I'm not hating on nothing you saying.
I want to make sure that
I'm gonna give you. I would never do that. Now we may compare stuff, okay, but I'm never hating on what you're saying. Now, is that fair for you?
Bro, this ain't gonna be no tit for tat. I want you to
No, it ain't a tit for tat.
understand
No,
that.
I want this. What I'm getting. This is what I'm getting at. It ain't a tit for tat. What I'm getting at is there was a point in time in Detroit's political history where we had a black mayor, we had a black city council, we had a black school board, we had a black police force, we had a black everything.
Right.
And we were attacked as a city from the other outside cities who were not black, who had a problem with us leading ourselves, doing the things that we could try and do to move the city forward for the state. Okay. For example, there was the water department in Detroit.
Right.
The water department in Detroit was not funded in any way. They didn't get a dime, not a dime from the state of Michigan.
What year was this?
This was 78, 77, 79, somewhere right there. Same time the Renaissance was being built. Yeah, somebody. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so now I gotta listen. I can't do it like that. I was born somewhere else.
This is why I'm trying to give you some knowledge right now.
Okay, so therefore I'm not gonna even get it. You got the floor.
Okay.
Because I love knowledge.
The state of Michigan, because Detroit as a city could not afford to get a water treatment facility without a cosigner. I'll say it like that. Now, how much sense that makes? A city had to do with a cosigner. The state of Michigan said we're not co-signing you. You're going to have to take this debt on all by yourself.
What's the premise? What's the premise of this live? Because I want to have a conversation with you. I want to have a conversation with how many people in here right now. I'm about to blow his shit up.
We got 30 in from in here. I think it looked like 30. Come on, man, give me some. I got no problem. I love a heated debate because only our
because I see what I see.
iron.
You see what you see. Because I used to go down. I mean, Lake Erie and anything like that. That's somewhere else. But I'm like, I got a lot of people from Cleveland, and I got a lot of people from Detroit, and we conversate every day. But they ain't never gave it to me like that because they don't know.
Right. Brother,
And
I
they from
can only
there.
say it like this, bro. I'm 60 years old, so you get that first. Yeah, you're right, I'm an OG. 1. 2. I've been following politics since 1970.
Oh, all right,
2?
Stop it.
No, bro, because you don't know my history, so don't say that, please. And I'm just speaking to my personal history, so because I want you to understand how long I've been watching politics. When I didn't know what I could do, I was still watching politics. I was in junior high in the 70s.
Family, the only reason why I'm saying chill out for a second is because, I met a guy from Detroit, and he was the coolest motherfucker on earth. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He wanted nothing but the best. I'm like, wow. And I met him in Ohio. If I would have met him in New Jersey, it would have been something different. His story would have switched up. Like, I don't know how y'all get down in the D, but then everybody started coming to me from the D. I'm like, yo, man, what's going on? They looking at me like I'm real people. I'm like, all right, well, cool, no problem. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's happening. Okay, this is where you can get the job at. Y'all had the Ford plant out there, right?
No. We had Ford, GM, and Chrysler.
Okay, well, damn. See, I didn't even know all that.
I know.
I didn't even know all that. I just knew it was booming. That's why the niggas hate the nigga Trump. Now he got money coming back. Well, we ain't gonna do that.
Let me interject this. And under normal circumstances, I personally please speak freely. But if you ever get on a panel with me, the N word is the only word I'm ever gonna take issue with. Do not refer to me as that. Do not refer to my people as that.
No.
I understand, I get where you at, but I'm just asking you to respect that of me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'll give you that one. Because I ask individuals not to do that to me, especially when they around other.
Brother, I have an extensive vocabulary. The N word is one of the last things I'm gonna run to.
I got you.
I can describe you and my people in much more positive terminology.
What you gonna call me, the black man?
I'm gonna call you a young prince.
Man, look, I have no choice but to conduct myself in a different perspective. But I understand that, and I respect that too. I respect that. You said that, I respect that.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's my only position when it comes to that word. Any other time, I don't cut people off. I let you get your point out and your view. I might interject here and there, but I got no problem shutting up and letting you speak.
Listen, my patience is, I'm a Taurus, so I try to interject when I can, when I hear something that ain't going right. But I'm like, man, let me hear this man speak. Ain't he from the D? Most of my best people come from the D. Okay,
There's a
well,
reason
and
for
they
it. Listen,
older than me.
you heard cats say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
That's what
Same,
they say.
that's what they say, but the same thing applies from the D. You don't care where somebody go. Where somebody go from the D, a mother somebody ain't saying, "Okay, that motherfucker, he from the D." You got to show that one right there a different form of reverence.
Yeah.
And I don't care where I go. I don't care where I'm at. California, down south, east, or it don't matter. When I'm from the D, you know I'm from the D.
Now check this out. Why you say
Yes,
that?
sir.
I know Cactus from the D. I've been around them. Actually, I can sit down at their table and they skeptical about everything. What the fuck this motherfucker doing? I'm like, yo, man, look, I'm cool people. Okay, but I'll move this way until you warm up. And then they see I'm warmed up. I mean, well, they warm up to me. I'm like, man, I was looking at you the same way you was looking at me. Because I ain't know what the fuck, I ain't know what you was on. Okay, cool, no problem. And then now we the best. You cannot tell me you're going to separate me from, oh, God, man.
Exactly.
People don't know. They separated us. They separated us. And that was by design. And they did a good job at it.
They didn't do a good job. They did not do a
Man,
good job. They did a great,
very
fantastic,
good job.
phenomenal job in dividing us from amongst ourselves. The problem is,
tell me what the problem is. What's the problem?
As phenomenal a job as they did, we did an even greater phenomenal task in putting us back together.
That's true.
And the
That's
idea
true.
of them
Look at
not
this guy.
being able to break that up, I put you in a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Y'all wasn't supposed to be able to piece this together for another 25 years, and y'all did it in 3. Or let me say it properly. Let me say it properly. Y'all did it in 10.
You saying 3.
Right. No, but I'm going to be honest. You did it in 10. Y'all coming together in less than a decade. My plan was to destroy you all for 100 years. You're coming back together.
How many wars you didn't sing? If you don't mind me asking. See, that's the Taurus in me. That's the Taurus in me. My fault.
Okay, well, see, no, because now you're taking me back to my childhood. My childhood is Vietnam.
Okay, well, there we go. You got Vietnam.
Now, wait a minute. Let me be very clear. It is not my personal introduction to Vietnam. It is my family's introduction into this conflict.
How many wars have you been seeing, brother?
You asked me how many wars I've seen. How
many wars have I been around for? Lifetime?
How many wars have I personally been around for? I've been around.
Go ahead with it.
I've been around and present and aware since the Vietnam War.
Okay, Vietnam. Keep going.
Everything after that. What, you think I got amnesia?
No.
What the hell's happened between Vietnam and today that you think I'm not aware of?
Run it down. You've been around Vietnam, Desert Storm. Like, run it down.
Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, Gaddafi. All of these I've been present for. We've been present for. Or, yeah, I've been present for.
Gaddafi.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think they found him in a hole for... They found him in a hole.
You talking about...
How is that not a war?
What's your man?
You know
Saddam Hussein.
Gaddafi, yeah, you're right. How did they get rid of Gaddafi? Oh,
yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there.
But again, my point is, I've been here for all of these things. They can't say nothing to me I'm not privy to, not aware of. There's nothing. Listen, man, they ain't got but 12 cards in their deck. And I know all 12 cards.
Nah, son, you don't know all. Well, see, I said, son. I mean, that's New York coming
No,
out,
I
right?
just need you. What I'm getting at, bro, when I say that is they only have so many cards that they play, and they just replay them and reshuffle them and repackage them in the ways that they do. But they're the same cards.
And I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone.
Shoot.
You think them cards ain't running out?
Of
Everybody
course they're
already
running
sees
now.
your hand.
Of course they're running now. Here's the problem. They see as FBA, there's nothing that they're putting out in the deck that we're falling for. I'm not falling for the National Organization of Women.
You had me until you said
I'm not
something.
falling for Team LGBTQ.
Oh man, cut that
I'm
shit
not
out.
falling for DEI. And by I mean us. Okay? I'm not falling for CRT.
You said us. That shit was made
No.
up for white women.
Point is, we're not falling for the idea of going to fight for it and act like it's for us. See, we're not falling for that. See, they've tried these things all of these years. These great, humongous, delicious looking, I mean, absolutely juice falling off the burger, lettuce, tomato, cheese. You can
Yeah, I
see
know
it
this nigga
drooling.
from the day.
And it turns out to
No,
be a nothing burger. How many
So you ain't
nothing
gonna
burgers
sit
are
there
you
and
gonna
eat that
eat?
motherfucker?
I was saying,
You ain't gonna
how many
sit there and
nothing
eat it?
burgers you gonna eat, bruh?
I'm gonna entertain this for about 20 more minutes because
Because I'm entertaining, bruh.
nah, man, you
Just go
you a
with
funny
it, man.
character.
Just say yeah. Thank you.
Say yeah for what? Say yeah for what?
Because
When
it's
I know the
funny.
truth.
Because
Yeah, it
it's
is
funny and we
funny.
gonna ride this out. We go listen, I ain't Dick Gregory and I ain't Bill Burr, but
He
I know
said
how to
Dick
tell the
Gregory. Come
goddamn
on.
truth. Okay? I wish
I
I could
know.
rise to the level potentially of Paul Mooney. Okay? But I doubt it.
Yeah, we not gonna do that, man. That
Now,
motherfucker, he terrible.
no, terrible with the truth. He's
Yeah, he
ruthless.
terrible with the truth. I'm terrible
He's
with the truth.
ruthless.
That's why I can
But
check your facts, and I know what you just said to me a few times. I'm like, oh, ho. I didn't
have
say
I
it out loud.
lied yet?
But leave it alone. But
Have I lied? Let me ask you that.
ask yourself that.
No, bro. Now see.
You
You
told
know
me
what?
some things, and I'm like, yo,
You have questions about them. But I do
Nah,
not lie.
I don't.
I have no reason to lie to you. Zero.
My facts is my facts, and I research. So, know what I mean? The facts is the facts. I'm not
And
going
I
to say
can
you lying.
wholeheartedly, and I get that. But you know, well, I'll say it like this. You can tell thus far, I have no reason to deceive you in any way.
Nah, no problem. I don't know you from a can of paint. Why would you have a reason to deceive?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I only want to
Yeah.
tell and share the truth to my next brother because my personal belief, because I want you to understand this part, I am supposed to be a tree for you. I am supposed to be the shade that you sit up under.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Have you ever seen the what's that shit? The where they killing people and anything like that? It's called well, they ain't killing people, they killing zombies.
Are you talking about following the dead,
Yeah, the dead
Walking
shit.
Dead? The Walking
Yeah, the
Dead.
Walking Dead.
No, brother, I will say this to you when it comes to that particular genre of film and or culture. My belief is that the idea I'll take it back a little bit further for you. I'll say it like this, since you spoke.
Nah, I'm asking
hear
you
me out.
if you
I know, but
watched
I'm gonna
it.
bring the same thing to it. It's the same thing. You remember the movie with Martin Sheen and Mark Wahlberg, and what was that one? And they were
Four Brothers.
no,
Which one?
Martin. It was Whitey Bulger.
That's the name of the
And
movie.
and how they were trying to entrap him and get him to commit his crime. Anyway, my point is this, bro. Since that movie, and maybe a little bit before that, everything that you've been seeing from mainstream media and or Hollywood has been a headshot.
Why you say
Everything that
that
you have
though?
been, because that's what you've been seeing. You've been seeing
No, but
headshots
why
to
you say that?
desensitize, so that it desensitizes
Oh,
you to the
oh.
idea of unaliving.
Mm.
Now, this has been going on for, I can go on and say, decades now. They've been desensitizing the citizenry to unaliving of its citizenry.
If that's a word, but yeah, okay.
Okay,
I
so
understand what you're saying.
when I desensitize you as a group to unaliving for nothing becomes every day.
Okay, I looked
I,
at it a little bit of a different way. Let
but
me tell you
and
how I looked at it.
uh-huh.
The individuals that's going on right now, where somebody told me, and then I looked up the research. They like, all right, well, we want, I mean, when the COVID was going on and anything like that, okay, now we need our product back. Okay, since you said it didn't work, if you got that shot, what they call it, the jab, we need our
Uh-huh.
product back since it didn't work. But they patented that. You know that, right?
I would not categorize it as not working either. I would say it
You ever
worked.
had the COVID?
I haven't, but you have to understand the target of that particular
Did you ever have
injection.
the COVID?
Yes, I did. No, I never had COVID. Did I take the shot? Yes, but let me explain it to you, brother.
Okay,
Let
that's
me
a
say it
good
from what I see.
conversation.
Let
Go
me say
ahead.
it what I see.
Hold on, real quick. You got that's a real sensitive topic for TikTok. You know that, right?
I know it, and I'm being as
Is
delicate
it?
as I can. You know, yes,
Don't get
they
the
ain't
don't
playing
get
with
the
stuff like that.
don't get the platform
My
taken.
position is that
The guy
that
that said that social distancing, I'm gonna leave it at this. Now, I mean, the guy that said social distancing and anything like that, I, well, I never said that before. And then he ran it back. He said, okay,
no,
cool, no
brother,
problem.
forget him because he's irrelevant. He's the smoke in front of your face while the house is burning behind you. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
What happened was those within the American society who were obese and or had underlying health conditions,
Mm-hmm.
those were them who got unalived. Because it wasn't the healthy cats. Because I know a brother who he and his family got it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Are you serious?
Yes. Sick for 2 weeks. Everybody down. Flat out.
And
But
everybody died.
they were a healthy family. There were no underlying physical health conditions in that lineage and or that family. So health wise, they were able to fight it off. Those who had issues with their health were unable to fight it off. And that is who it was That appears to be, from my perspective, the target group.
So you saying the FBI files that found out that this guy was lying and anything like that is wrong? Or the CIA files? Do you see that?
I think
Hold
the
on. Let me give you the
All right,
website.
hold on. Let me interject again. You guys, listen. If y'all want to talk about that, y'all gotta have to start your own room and
we're
do
gonna
that.
get off this subject, bro.
Nah,
Period.
you're right, bro. You're right,
Right.
bro. You're
Hey,
right.
listen,
You're right.
me.
Pull
I'm not
somebody
saying
else up.
me.
Pull
I'm not
somebody else
saying.
up. We know we got some more cats in here. Want to
Yeah,
listen to say
I'm
something.
not saying you wrong, brother, but I'm just saying this is not.
Nah.
You know how this platform does it.
Yeah.
They will
I
get
get it.
you, and then they'll take down my platform. We don't want that.
Yeah, you're
So
right about that. I apologize, man.
yeah,
That's on me because bro said something. Then I had to say something because I know I got websites and anything like that. But you're right. I don't want to take your platform down.
so let me say it like this. Let's go back to Shadeur Sanders, man, and the NFL. And what
There
I
you
think
go.
the NFL is running like a plantation, and why we got to help free our brothers and get them off the plantation. I want our brothers to make the money. See, here's my thing. I want our brothers to make money,
Mm.
but I don't want them to lose their respect to have to make the money. I don't want them to have to jump through hoops to have to make the money. I don't want them have to not be able to speak up about our people's issues so they don't lose the money. If we, and this is my point of view where I'm coming from, if we support our own people, they cannot be canceled. If we
Mm.
come out from up under the banking system and get into blockchain technology, which is a decentralized banking system and ledger formation, we can dominate and we can keep our people, right? Keep our people papered up and able to be who they truly are instead of be what the corporate America wants them to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Let
it
me say.
makes perfect sense.
Let me interject this. It would be my strongest belief that every one of my FBA brothers and sisters who are joining Division I schools and giving their talent to those schools so that those schools can make millions and billions of dollars. My preference would be for those brothers and sisters to take those talents to the HBCUs.
But do we
Turn
even
those schools, turn those forces into powerhouses that the media will have to turn those dollars to. But as long as we have cats and kittens running to these PWIs, then our HBCUs are suffering. And there's no question about that.
I agree.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who's controlling the narrative?
Of what?
We want what? We want who? We want where? Okay. All right. Well, he can do these many points, or she can do these many points, or they can do these many points. It's a chess. Well, it ain't no chess game because I don't even know if you know what. I mean, y'all probably played the game of chess, right?
I play chess.
Yes.
You play chess. You play chess. Okay, cool. No problem. Now, I mean, what's the most important move on the chessboard?
The next move.
That's what you say, right?
The next
What's
move.
the next move on that? I mean, but
Well, you
the
got
people in
you got
general.
to be
Now, I mean, you got the
competitive.
rook, bishop,
Yeah, to
knight.
be competitive on the chessboard, you got to at least be able to go 3 to 5 moves ahead of your opponent.
See, but this is the thing. That's that's the chess game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that. Nah, I mean, if you play chess, then you'll know the game. I'm like, man, hold on. Nah, I mean, you're
Know
not
what
dealing
game?
in life.
Know
The
what
chess
game?
game is the the chess game.
How do you apply chess to life and or your geopolitical life? You can't
What you
look at
mean
it.
geopolitical? We don't look at it like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't look at it like that.
yeah.
You can't look at
I
it
can
like
see
that.
similarities in chess being, you know, if you know how to play the game of chess, you should be skilled at playing the game of life if you apply it in certain areas to your life. Meaning, you
Exactly.
should be 3 to 5 moves ahead of the game of life. You need to be planned. You need to be mapped out, planned out, strategic moves. You need to know, like
But
this.
how
And
many
this is my
people do
advice.
that?
Let me ask
This
you
is
this,
my
Meeks.
advice. Hold on. This is my advice. If young men from 18 to 29 want to leapfrog ahead of the competition, this is what I would tell someone who's 18 to 29. Your only job is to fail. Hurry up and fail forward. Try everything. Do everything.
Yeah.
Try everything and fail, because that's how, as a man, and again, let me qualify this. I'm speaking only to men. I'm not speaking to women. I'm telling men, you learn through failure. Your only
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
between 18 and 29 is to hurry up and fail so you can get the experience and get the learning. The next thing I would tell them is you need to be working 16-hour days, 4 hours in the gym, 10 to 12 hours out making money, looking for, 10 to 12 hours a day, making money, 4 hours in the gym. And then I would add something like testosterone pills, because I know how they try to emasculate the men with the food and the diet and everything like that that's going on.
Yeah.
So
They definitely doing
you
that.
work hard when you're young and strong, so you don't have to work
Can you guys hear me?
physical strength. Yeah, I can hear you work
Yes.
hard in your
Okay.
30s and 40s. See, the 30s, when you get to your 30s, it's about leadership. It's about execution. From 18 to 29, you need to have a schedule. You need to be failing, and you need to learn how to execute. Figure out what your superpower is. So you what your superpower is. You turn that, you monetize that, and turn that into money. 30
That's right.
and execution. From 30 to 35, from 30 to 40 years old.
This motherfucker's trying to get a whole game plan out, man.
Yeah.
You can't say that. Nigga, write a book.
Come on, man. He has written the
No,
book.
but he's telling the truth, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He
Leadership.
has written the book. It's out here right now.
Right. Leadership.
What's
and
the book?
execution. Well, I'm working on this book. It's going to be called.
Why budget on the ball? Why ball on the budget when you can budget on the ball?
I got a book. It's about $10. Check it out. Click the link in my bio. It's all about.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with it.
But from 30.
And they better say everything you talking about right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it goes into it. But from 30 to 39.
That's deep.
Leadership and execution. Your 40s, you should be cruising. The game should be so seamless and so simple, because you know where all the landmines and pitfalls are at. You should be accumulating wealth from 40 to 60 years old, and then from 60 on, it's just mastery at that. Mastery. This is where you give back. This is where you look for your predecessor. This is where you pour leadership into other people. This is where you mentor people from 60 on up, because you done did it all. From 40 to 60 is where you amass the most amount of wealth you're ever going to amass.
Bro, can I tell you something? Unfortunately, I had to learn certain things out the hard way. What they call it, the school of hard knocks. I had to learn it that way.
But that's real game right there. See, never knock the school of hard knocks. Don't look down on the school of hard knocks, because people who come from that, people who can come out of that and get through that, those are strong.
Yeah, that's why I'm speaking to y'all right now.
Powerful individuals.
Look, street guys.
Yeah,
and anything like that. I'm like, yo, man, look, this how I'm gonna do this. This how I'm gonna do that. 5 years ago, motherfuckers was like, well, even more recently than that, they tried to give me a fair number. I'm like, no. You're not doing that. Okay, cool, no problem. That's why I started getting into the books. They say When I have money, put it in the motherfucking book. Black people ain't gonna look at that.
Some of the smartest people in the world are street dudes, man. I'm gonna tell you right because street dudes, when they get sat down, they go, they read, and get themselves some information.
But how many individuals really apply that when they get out though?
But
Brother, we can't be responsible for everybody. See, this is the problem personally from my
I
perspective.
send you guys videos where I made motherfucking judges run out of the court, bro. Which one of you can do the same thing?
Brother, I'm sorry. I don't never dealt with the court system, so I can't do that.
Okay, so you wouldn't know nothing about it.
Exactly.
Listen.
Nothing. Zero.
Listen. I come from.
Right.
Hold on, Rick, let me say this. I come from a line. I come from a family line that they go to court and they represent themselves and they win. I watch my dad do it.
Dude, that's what I'm telling you right there. Know what I mean? And I didn't know that. I didn't know you could represent yourself.
Yes, you can.
Somebody told me you had to have a lawyer. Until a lawyer fucked me over. Excuse my French.
That's because you believe them.
Hold on,
Who?
you guys. Let me hear from Silly.
You believed them when they said you couldn't represent yourself.
Hold on.
What you just say? Let me. We got other people on the panel. I want Silly to introduce himself and see what they want to add to the conversation, and then I'll open it up. Silly, are you there? Silly, are you there?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, how are you?
And terribly sorry we took so long to get to you.
Hello? Did you hit the button on accident?
No. Come on.
Nah, she
Talk
gonna
to
say
us, sweetie.
something.
Talk to us, sweetie. What have we said that you have disagreed with?
Hello?
Sweetheart, speak your piece on that one. Because I know something resonated with you. Because you wouldn't even have jumped up.
She said she fell asleep. Okay, darling, we're gonna let you sleep. It's no problem. It's late. I'm sure you're on the East Coast. Probably it's late.
She was just listening.
I'll let you go to sleep. It's okay. You have a good
That's
night.
all right. No.
What you laughing for?
Because she fell asleep and she don't know what we're talking about.
She know what we talking about. She been listening for.
You want me to let you sleep, Silly? You want me to let you go back to sleep? Or are you up now? Are you up now? All right, she ain't up. Let me let her go to sleep. Let me let her sleep.
But it's all good. Know what I mean?
Get you some rest, my dog.
Listen, I'm gonna have to because I ain't following you yet, so I'm gonna have to follow you.
Yeah, shoot me a follow, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I enjoy this type shit. Know what I mean? Because black men don't build like this. Back where I'm from, they like, yo, well, we only build in the streets. Know what I mean? You get a crew of motherfuckers and then everybody put together their information.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's always going to be, for lack of a better way to say this, there's always going to be a dark force that's going to take over. Unless the lighter force steps forward. And too many of the lighter of our force have looked at what's happened to those who have stepped into the light and said, I would really like to not get pew-pewed.
Who gives a fuck about dying if you can't make a difference? See, that's the problem. People are afraid of getting pew-pew. I mean,
because even though you may be quietly making a difference, you are still making a difference. And believe it or not,
okay.
No, believe it or not, brother, enough of us have moved quietly in the same direction unknowingly, so that we have moved the nation to our will.
Let's speak about the individual that got pew-pew well, actually, he ain't get pew, but the motherfucker, he got suffocated in a hospital. So, I mean, he was making the difference. And he said in his speech, he was like, man, I feel as though I led my people into a burning building. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, we know who you talking about. I'm not quite sure about the hospital, but that's another issue. Now,
Yeah. Okay,
you
do
might
your
be okay.
research. It's
No,
in the classifications. Go on the CIA website, and they'll tell you. It's in the classifications.
if he got let me say it like this, brother. If he got pew-pewed in the head at the Lorraine Hotel,
Nah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
What I'm getting at, brother, is by the time
And then
ambulance would have gotten to him from
he would
that
have been
particular
gone already.
Exactly. So the
how he
idea
still
of him
on
at
the
a
motherfucking-
hospital saying anything doesn't seem likely.
No. This was way before. You don't know the speech?
I know the speech. I know the first time he did.
Wow.
I know the first time he dropped that "I Have a Dream" speech was actually in Detroit.
I'm talking about the speech after that. When he did it in Georgia. Which one you talking?
The original speech you were speaking. No, the original speech that you were speaking to was, "Have I led my people into a burning house?"
Hey, check this out, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. I'm gonna go ahead and.
My fault, bro. I know my fault, bro. My fault. Oh, damn.
It's not you. I'm gonna chill with the wife. Is the weekend. I did want to come on. I want to see what everybody was thinking about Shadeur Sanders.
Nah, you good. Nah, man, I already followed you, bro. But
I appreciate it.
Hey, what's the homie name right here?
Cousin
Uncle 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵.
Grampy. Okay, I'm gonna get with you because I can show you something, man. Some things I done did to where they can't even touch me.
I do not dispute anything you said. The idea of you fighting the system and winning is not abnormal to me.
Brother Meave, you need to write a book, brother.
If you do not
back to the
put up that fight, then you're going to lose.
Grampy, hold on. What'd you say, fam?
I said you need to write a book, brother. You gotta give that game up.
Man, I know about a lot of motherfucking things, man. And I'm like, yo.
So you need to put in a book. You need to
listen.
Do a podcast and talk about it and get it out so people can watch it and see it in real time. You need to
I feed that to only my people. Only my people.
Right. You need to come with your documents and you need to give brothers the game.
Oh no, the documents is on deck.
Right. So
documents is on deck.
I'm saying you need to come with the documents and you need to give the game up. Don't hold on to it.
Never that.
Give it to the world before you leave.
Never that.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you though, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I appreciate y'all guys' time. For real.
Right, hey, everybody have a good enjoy their weekend, man. I'm about to chill for a minute, man. Y'all enjoy yourselves. And we'll chop it up later.
All right, man. Go and kiss the missus. Tell her I said sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all good. Hey, y'all. Hey, cousin. Love you, sir. You have a good day, okay? Good night.
You too. Peace.
Take care. Peace.